Here's the thing. We have to get out of this comparison trap. We have to stop comparing to one another. Welcome back, my friends, to Midweek. Last week, we covered some parts of anxiety. Today, we're going to talk about the comparison trap and why it is so dangerous for us. And so I want to read from 2 Corinthians 12. Not that we dare to classify or compare ourselves with some of those who are commending themselves, but when they measure themselves by one another and compare with one another, they are without understanding. Another version says when they measure themselves against themselves, they are lost. Teddy Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. And it really, really is. When we look at others and compare, there are two main things that happen. One, we end up being not joyful. We end up being bitter because we're looking at others that we think have more than us. And we're going, why don't I have that, God? Why do they seem like they have more than me? They seem like they're in the same stage of life. Why do they seem like they're so much further ahead? Or we look at them and we go, wow, I'm so much further ahead than them. Look at me. I'm doing so much better than all of these people. And then we have pride, right? And so comparing really is just a trap and something that we shouldn't do. A lot of times, I was talking to my sister about this, we look at social media and we see other people's highlight reels or their marketing that is designed to sell us something or sell us a lifestyle. And we go, wow, man, look at them. They're traveling with their kids 3 times a year. I haven't taken a trip with my kids. Wow, Lord, I wish I could travel. I wish I could have that house. I wish I could have that car. I wish I could have that promotion. Why do they have it? Why don't I have it? Right? And then we become in this cycle, the comparison trap, and we're just unhappy with our lives instead of being grateful for what the Lord has given us, right? There's another thing that I think happens a lot that we don't talk about as much when we compare, but it's this. A lot of times God has set your hand to something, has called you to something. And what do? We look around almost for, reinforcements that someone else is already doing it. But sometimes God's called you to step out in faith and do something that no one else has ever done before. No one around you has done. And so what happens is we don't move on the word that the Lord has given to us because we're comparing. We're going, well, no one else I know has done this. Lord, is this really from you? Should I step out? And we wait and we hold back in fear because we're comparing to everyone else. But what if he's calling you today to step out, to minister to someone in your job, in your workplace, in your church, in your community, right? And you're waiting going, oh, I don't see anybody else doing this. That's okay. If the word is from the Lord, step out in faith and do it anyways. You know, we see Noah in the Bible building this boat and his community is not only not doing it, but they're mocking him saying, what are you doing? You got a word from the Lord? Okay. You're building this huge boat. What are you doing? Well, look how that story turned out. The word of the Lord was true and the word of the Lord is always true. And if you know he's called you, he's called your hand to something today, then don't be afraid and don't compare to anyone else around you. Step out in faith, keep your eyes fixed on him, follow him with boldness, and he will lead you. And don't compare to others on what they have and what you don't have. Trust the Lord for what you have. He brings everything anyways. And so sometimes I think we're unhappy because we're looking at everyone else going, oh, I don't have that. I wish I had that. I wish I was there. I wish I was doing that. And we need to just recenter ourselves, refix our eyes on Jesus. There is one caveat to this I want to tell you, and that is this. I think sometimes it's okay to look at someone who's in the same stage of life as us and not necessarily compare for a long time, but get some perspective on our reality and go, hey, if they're doing that, I can do it too. Let me give you an example. So I have 2 babies, but when I first had my 0 to 1 was a transition and 1 to 2 was a transition, and there were hard moments and easy moments and different moments and growing moments. And I have this dear friend and she has 4 and she is such an incredible mom. She literally doesn't even have a microwave, cooks everything from scratch for her kids every day. It's incredible. And so sometimes I've called her or called on her and said, hey, how are you doing this? And not really compared and why does she have what I don't have, but looked at her and said, oh, wow, let me get some perspective on my situation. If she's doing this, I can do it too. And so I think in that way it's healthy, right? And I wanted to add that in there because it's okay to look at someone further ahead than you and go, wow, if they're doing it, I can get inspired and I can do it too. But in every other way, comparison is a trap. And the Lord and the Bible is bringing this up to us because he knows we are prone to do this. He knows instead of looking at him, we're prone to look out at everyone else and either compare and be prideful and be like, wow, I'm doing so much better than you are. I'm such a better mom than you are. Or be sad and be embittered because we go, wow, they have what I want. They have what I don't have. I wish I was further along. I wish I had that. And so again, we need to recenter, fix our eyes on Jesus, be grateful for what he has given us and go, wow, Lord, thank you for what you've given me. Maybe someone looks like they have more than I have, but thank you for what you've given me today. I'm going to be grateful with it. I'm going to be faithful in the little. He who is faithful in the little is faithful in much. And also, I'm going to listen to you for a word. What have you called me to do? What have you set for me specifically to do? What have you set my hand to? And when you ask me to move, I'm going to move. I'm not going to focus on anyone else and be concerned that no one else is doing it, or someone may be doing it better, or what are they going to think, or why is all my peers not doing what you've asked? Lord, I'm going to fix my eyes on you and go, okay, if you've asked me to step out in faith, I'm going to step out in faith. I'm not going to compare to anyone else around me, but I'm going to fix my eyes on you, Lord, and trust you today for every word that comes from you. I know is for me and I can rely on, and it never returns void, right? And so I just wanted to talk about that today because it's so important to get our eyes off of everyone else and put our eyes back on Jesus. Stop comparing, put our eyes back on Jesus, and be grateful for what he has for us, and move and step out on faith when he asks us to. I hope this blessed you. I pray your family is blessed, and I will see you in the next one.